Share of each friend when a pizza bill of rupees 250 is shared among n friends. So we have rupees 250 is shared among n friends. Shared among n friends means divided among n friends. So rupees 250 is divided by n. So we can write it as 250 by n. So here we have translated a word problem into an algebraic expression. Now look at this problem. A has x pence, B has 4 pence more than A, C has 2 pence fewer than 3 times B's pence. How many pence does C have? Well, let us try and solve it step by step. Firstly, A has x pence. This is given to us. B has 4 more than A. So what is A's pence? A has x pence that we have already got. So B has 4 more than A means B has 4 more than x. More than stands for addition operation. So B has 4 plus x. So B has 4 plus x. Now let us try and solve for C. C has 2 fewer than 3 times B's pence. So B's pence, how many pence does B have? B has 4 plus x pence. So we can replace this part, B's pence, with 4 plus x. So C has 2 fewer than 3 times 4 plus x. Now 3 times 4 plus x. This stands for 3 into 4 plus x. So we can replace this part with 3 into 4 plus x. So C has 2 fewer than 3 into 4 plus x. Now fewer than stands for subtraction. 2 fewer than this means 3 into 4 plus x minus 2. So this gives 3 into 4 plus x minus 2. So this is the number of pence with C if A has x pence. So you can see that such a complex looking problem can be solved in a very simple manner if we follow a step-by-step and logical approach, taking one operation at a time. Harry buys X apples and Y oranges. Price of an apple is 10 and price of an orange is 15. Find the total amount spent by Harry. So first let us consider apples. Harry buys X apples. Price of one apple is 10. So price of X apples will be X into 10, which is 10x. Now let us consider oranges. Price of one orange is 15. So price of Y oranges is Y into 15. That is 15y. Now total amount spent will be amount spent on apples plus amount spent on oranges, because total stands for addition operation. So it will be 10x plus 15y. So total amount spent is 10x plus 15y. This is the total amount spent by Harry. Now I'll solve this question. A car travels d kilometers in t hours. What is its speed? Its speed is given by distance traveled divided by time taken. Well, speed is distance traveled divided by time taken. So it can be written as distance traveled by time taken. Distance traveled is d and time taken is t. So speed is d by t kilometer per hour. Now let us try and convert this word problem into an algebraic expression. The product of the sum of the squares of two numbers and the sum of the same two numbers. Let us first consider the product of. So we need to find the product of two things. What are the two things? One is this. One is this. And the second is this. At the moment, we are not bothered what they are. We just need to know that it is the product of this and this. So it can be written as this part multiplied by this entire part. So we write it as this part, the sum of the squares of two numbers, the sum of the squares of two numbers multiplied by the sum of the same two numbers, the sum of the same two numbers. So we write it like this. Now let us consider the sum of. So it is the sum of the squares of two numbers. So the sum of two things. What are those two things? The squares of two numbers. So, and in this case, it is the sum of the same two numbers. So, we have square of a number plus square of another number and one number plus the other number, because it is sum of squares of two numbers. So, square of one number and square of another number, the sum of one number and the other number. So we write it like this. Now let us consider this part. Square of a number, square of the other number. So we need to find squares now. Squares of a number and square of the other number. Now let us take the numbers to be x and y. So we have, it is the square of x, the square of y. One number is x, the other number is y. So square of x, square of y, one number x, other number y. So we write it like this. Now square of x is x square, square of y is y square. So this becomes x square plus y square into x plus y. So this is how big word problems are converted into simple algebraic expressions.